Hey guys, welcome to the Christmas special of Beauty Beacons. Today's video is going to be dedicated to Queen Victoria. Queen Victoria was the Queen of the United Kingdom from 1837 to 1901. She was very popular amongst her people. She was very charming and quite amiable. She didn't have much political power anymore at that time in the United Kingdom, so there wasn't really much for people to dislike her for. Victoria had quite distinctive features. She had a very recognizable signature hairstyle and her face is quite unique to her as well. She had a very round face with quite a prominent nose and round eyes. There aren't many remarks about her physical appearance, so it's not entirely sure whether people thought she was beautiful or not. But the reason why I wanted to include her in today's Beauty Beacons video is because of her connection with Christmas. Queen Victoria is closely associated with Christmas because it was during her reign that many of the traditions that we know nowadays were popularized by her. Queen Victoria married her cousin Albert, who she loved very dearly, and they had 9 children together. But Albert was born in Germany, and in Germany they had the tradition of the Christmas tree, which is something that wasn't really done in Great Britain. They had their little kind of twigs of evergreen, but never a real proper tree that was decorated. So that is something that Albert brought with him from Germany to the United Kingdom, and one year there was a picture published in the newspaper of Victoria and Albert and their children standing around a beautifully decorated Christmas tree, which was loaded with candles and fruit and cookies and small presents. And after that publication, the Christmas tree became really popular. The year after that, everybody had a Christmas tree, and that is kind of how the tradition started in the UK. So along with the Christmas tree, this is something that she wasn't, that closely involved in personally, but it was still something that was popularized during her reign, is the Christmas card. The tradition of sending out printed cards with a little message around Christmas is something that originated during Queen Victoria's reign, when the technology of colored print was improved and the cost of printing went down dramatically. Pretty much everybody was able to buy printed Christmas cards and send them out to their family and friends. Another thing that was really popularized during her reign are the Christmas crackers. The Christmas cracker is based off of the French bonbon, by the way it is packaged, and inspired by that kind of shape, people started wrapping little presents inside a roll of cardboard that you could pull apart and the present would fall out, which is very similar to the Christmas crackers we have nowadays. Christmas became a lot more popular around this era in general. People put way more thought into their decorations. This was again inspired a little bit by that picture of Victoria and Albert, because their house is decorated beautifully, and just more effort was put into this in general. And also the act of gift giving was shifted from New Year's, which was the point at which people used to give gifts, to Christmas. This was a gradual change, but slowly but surely it occurred, and as we know nowadays, we give gifts at Christmas and not at New Year's anymore. So Queen Victoria's look is quite simple and elegant and really easy to recreate. So let's start with the makeup first. Queen Victoria did not wear any makeup at all. She didn't use cosmetics. She thought it wasn't something that ladies of higher standing should be doing, which was the general consensus at that time. So she completely refrained from that and she didn't wear any makeup at all. But I'm going to wear a little bit of makeup to kind of simulate her look. So I'm going to start with some foundation and concealer to even out my skin tone. And then I'm going to take a little bit more concealer and use this to erase my lips. Queen Victoria has a lot smaller lips than I do, so I'm going to kind of draw on a new set of lips. So I'm starting by just erasing my lips with some concealer, and then I'm going to take 2 lip pencils. I'm taking a red one and a nude colored one, and I'm going to combine these 2 colors to kind of draw on a new lip. And how I'm going to do this is just pretty much start by outlining everything and coloring it in with a nude pencil, and then I'm going to go over with the red pencil just ever so slightly, and then in the end make a outline with the red pencil. This is going to give it kind of a 3D effect and look somewhat natural. Okay, so then I'm going in with a contour powder, and I'm using this one from this set. It has a highlight powder as well. It's matte white. So I'm going to use this to, first of all, create a little bit of a shadow underneath my lips. And this is again just going to help make the lips look a lot more natural. And I'm also going to use this to contour my nose. Queen Victoria has a lot of a longer kind of nose that is pointed downwards, whereas my nose is pointed up. So I'm going to try and simulate that look with a little bit of contour powder and highlighter as well. So I'm going to contour along the sides of my nose to make it a little bit sharper, as it were, in the bottom. And then I'm going to contour on the highest point of my own nose, where my nose actually has a little bit of a shiny spot, because it's the highest point. I'm going to make that recede by applying some dark powder on there. And then I'm going to apply a highlight powder just below that, where my nose naturally has a shadow. I'm going to make that a highlight. And then I'm going to take a little bit of that contour powder around my eyes as well to make them look a little bit more round. So that's all for the makeup. So moving on to the hair, the iconic Victoria hairstyle. So I'm going to start by separating my hair into a middle parting and separating out 2 sections on the sides of my face right in the front. So when that is done, I'm going to gather all the hair in the back and tie it into a ponytail right on the center of my head in the back. And I'm going to leave that for now and work on these front sections, which I'm going to braid. So I'm going to gather all of this hair really neatly to right next to my temple and then divide it into 3 sections there and start braiding it. And I'm going to braid kind of as if it were a Dutch braid, so I'm braiding upwards from below, if that makes any sense. This is what it looks like in her paintings, so that's what I'm going to do as well. So finish this braid all the way down and then tie it off with a hair elastic. And I'm going to do that on the other side as well. So when both my braids are done, I'm going to fluff these braids up, which pretty much just means I'm going to loosen everything up and make it a little bit more voluminous looking. So I'm basically just going to tug at the sides of these braids to make them look larger. Okay, when that is done, I'm going to return to my ponytail and I'm going to braid that as well, just a regular English braid. And when that is done, I'm going to wrap this around the base of my ponytail to make a little bun and use loads of bobby pins to hold this down. After my bun is nice and secure, I'm going to take one of the braids from the front and swoop it underneath my ear, and this is what gives the iconic Victoria look. She always had this swooped hair, either braided or unbraided, or at least in her youth she did. So that's what I'm going to do as well, and I'm going to bring this braid back and then pin it down right underneath that bun that I have. And I'm just going to tuck the tail of my braid underneath my bun to make sure it's hidden. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side as well. And the last thing there's left to do is take a beautiful embellished comb. I looked at loads of her pictures and she often has some type of jewelry around that bun that she has in the back. So I found this in my collection, so I'm going to use this. It's a comb with some rhinestones on there, so I'm going to just stick that into my bun. And there is your Victoria look all done. So I really hope you enjoyed this video, guys. If you did, don't forget to give a thumbs up and subscribe for more Beauty Beacons videos. If you have any requests for historical beauty icons that you would like me to recreate the looks of, don't forget to leave them down in the comments below. I want to thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye!